Hey there, fellow soil enthusiasts. Let me share something that completely changed how I look at those mushrooms popping up in my garden beds. You know that moment when you spot fungi growing on your compost pile or decomposing wood, and your first instinct is to worry. I used to feel the same way until I discovered that these rotting fungi aren't garden villains at all. They're actually running one of nature's most sophisticated recycling operations right under our noses, and understanding them will transform how you build soil health. When we talk about rotting fungi, we're discussing saprotrophs, the absolute champions of decomposition. These organisms have mastered something most living things can't do, breaking down tough, complex materials like lignin and cellulose that make up dead plant matter. Think about a fallen tree branch in the forest. Without fungi, that branch would sit there for decades, maybe centuries. But with fungi working their magic, it becomes rich, crumbly soil that feeds the next generation of plants. What fascinates me most is how efficient this process really is. Rotting fungi produce specialized enzymes that act like molecular scissors, snipping apart the chemical bonds in dead organic matter. As they feast on these materials, they're essentially pre-digesting nutrients and making them available in forms that plants can actually use. You know, it's kind of like having a professional chef in your garden who takes those tough, inedible ingredients and, well, transforms them into a gourmet meal your plants can actually absorb. Here's where things get really exciting for us gardeners. As rotting fungi grow through decomposing material, they create this intricate network of thread-like structures called hyphae. These tiny filaments are actually finer than the finest roots, and they weave through your soil just like nature's own construction scaffolding. This fungal network physically holds soil particles together, creating those beautiful, crumbly aggregates we all love to see when we dig into healthy garden soil. I remember the first time I really understood this connection. I was adding wood chips to my garden paths, and within months I noticed the soil beneath was completely transformed. It had this gorgeous structure with air pockets and channels that hadn't been there before. That was the fungal network at work, creating pathways for air and water to move through the soil while simultaneously binding particles together to prevent erosion. Your plant's roots can navigate through this improved structure much more easily, reaching deeper for water and nutrients. Let's talk about one of the most practical benefits for your garden nutrient cycling. Dead leaves, woody materials, kitchen scraps in your compost, all of these are packed with nutrients, but they're locked up in complex organic compounds. Rotting fungi are the key that unlocks this treasure chest. As they decompose organic matter, they release nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and, dozens of micronutrients back into the soil in plant-available forms. What I find particularly valuable is how this process creates a slow-release fertilizer system. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that dump nutrients all at once and can wash away with the next rain, fungal decomposition releases nutrients gradually over months and even years. This means your plants get a steady supply of nutrition exactly when they need it during the growing season. I've dramatically reduced my fertilizer inputs since I started intentionally supporting fungal activity in my garden, and honestly, my plants have never looked healthier. Rotting fungi don't work in isolation. They're supporting a whole universe of life beneath your feet. As they break down organic matter, they become food themselves for beneficial bacteria, nematodes, and soil arthropods. These organisms, in turn, support larger creatures like earthworms and beetles, creating a thriving ecosystem that self-regulates and maintains soil health. I've noticed that gardens rich in fungal activity tend to have fewer disease problems and pest issues. This isn't coincidence. A diverse, active soil food web creates competition that naturally suppresses harmful organisms. Some rotting fungi even produce compounds that inhibit pathogenic species, essentially providing your garden with a biological security system. When you support the good fungi, you're building resilience into your entire garden ecosystem, Now that you understand why rotting fungi are so valuable, let's talk about how to roll out the welcome mat for them in your garden. The single most effective thing you can do is add woody organic matter. Wood chips, shredded bark, cardboard, and even paper products provide the carbon-rich materials these fungi love. I maintain a layer of wood chip mulch in most of my garden beds, and honestly, the fungal activity it generates has been transformative. Another key factor is minimizing soil disturbance. Every time we till or deeply dig, we're shredding that delicate fungal network. I've transitioned to no-till methods in my vegetable beds, and, the difference in soil structure and plant health has been remarkable. If you must disturb the soil for planting, try to limit it to small areas and allow the fungal network to regenerate between disturbances. Moisture management also plays a crucial role. Fungi need consistent moisture to thrive, but they don't want to be waterlogged. A good layer of mulch helps maintain that sweet spot by reducing evaporation and moderating soil temperature. I've found that gardens with active fungal populations actually retain moisture better, meaning less watering for me during those hot summer months. Learning to spot signs of healthy fungal activity will help you gauge your soil's health. Those white, thread-like growths you sometimes see in mulch or compost, that's mycelium, and it's exactly what you want to see. Mushrooms popping up after rain are the reproductive structures of fungi that are hard at work beneath the surface. Rather than pulling them out, I've learned to celebrate them as indicators of a thriving soil ecosystem. You might also notice that wood chips or mulch develop a webby, white coating, or that decomposing materials in your compost have different colored fuzzy growths. These are all signs that fungal decomposition is happening. As long as these fungi are working on dead organic matter and not on living plants, they're your garden allies. The musty, earthy smell of rich compost? Well, that's partly the work of these incredible organisms. I hope this deep dive into the world of rotting fungi has changed how you think about decomposition in your garden. These organisms are working tirelessly to build the foundation of soil health that makes everything else possible. By understanding and supporting them, you're partnering with nature's own systems rather than fighting against them. If you found this information valuable, hey, why not subscribe to Grow with Soil for more practical gardening wisdom that works with nature, not against it. And, don't forget to share this article with fellow gardeners who might be ready to see their mulch mushrooms in a whole new light. Let's build healthier gardens together, one fungal network at a time. I've created an engaging, informative article about rotting fungi benefits that's perfectly tailored for your Grow with Soil YouTube channel. The article takes readers on a journey from understanding what rotting fungi actually do, to recognizing why they're essential for garden health, and finally to practical steps for encouraging them. It's written in that personal conversational tone that makes readers feel like they're chatting with a knowledgeable friend over the garden fence. The structure flows naturally with subheadings that guide readers through the decomposition process and how fungi accomplish it, soil structure improvements, nutrient cycling benefits, ecosystem support, practical implementation strategies, and, how to recognize healthy fungal activity. I've kept it firmly focused on actionable information without fluff, using real-world examples and that I've been there perspective that really resonates with both beginners and experienced gardeners. The ending includes your requested call to action, encouraging subscriptions and shares. Feel free to let me know if you'd like me to adjust the tone, add more specific examples, or focus on any particular aspects of fungal benefits.